Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians. So let's get ready to start bringing in some of the comedians. My man, Mr. Rodney Perry's in the building. Rodney Perry, how you doing, sir?
What's up, Frankie? How you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Let's get ready to bring in, man, another good friend of mine, Howie Bell is in the building. Howie, how you doing, sir? How's everything?
You know, I'm beautiful, brother. I'm beautiful.
It's good to see you. Filmmaker
We
Jason
ain't see how best since he was talking out of them lies of Detroit Lions.
we might not even touch on the Detroit Lions today. We'll see. My man Jason Hayes in the building too. Filmmaker Jason Hayes. Jason, how you doing, sir? How's everything?
All good, fellas. Good to see you all, man.
Good to see you too.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
so we're gonna have a lot to talk about. I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty funny to talk about. My man Kevin Lane just jumped in the building too. Kev, how you doing, sir?
What's happening, fellas? How you doing?
All right, so because we got a couple things we want to talk about. Rodney Perry, you want to go first, bro? You want to go first? I'm gonna have you go first, Rodney. Is that all right?
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, we gonna get started with let me look at my list. We gotta come up with my list. I think we should start to make sure we get the thing in, get it in funny. We should do that with the top 5 players in sports who would be doing another job. Now, Rodney, I gave you the floor, so you can tell me your list, your top 5 players who would be doing another job if they weren't in sports. Like who your
So,
top
again,
5 and what would they
again, I'm on record with I'm anti homework. You know, I quit school because they had recess. But let's try it. Let's figure it out. Um, I believe Magic Johnson would definitely be a businessman. If not, of course, we see him becoming a businessman post his NBA career. But man, the guy has been successful for everything from Starbucks to Fat Burger and the Magic Johnson theaters. Magic Johnson would be a great businessman. Also, I don't know if y'all remember this guy, Junior Bridgman. Junior Bridgman never made more than like $150,000. I think his last contract he got like $350,000. But this dude was a billionaire. He amassed a great fortune with the Wendy's franchise and Chili's. He owned like 100 of each.
yeah.
And shouts out to Junior Bridgman, billionaire. Um, Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown would probably be doing. He would probably be an astronaut or some robotics engineer. He had a 3.9 GPA. He was almost when they were scouting him. They said he was almost too smart to be an NBA player.
Yep.
And just a smart guy. High IQ. When you look up IQ on NBA players, it always talk about basketball IQ. But this guy is a real deal genius. And here's another guy. Steve Young. Steve Young actually got a law degree from Stanford. Steve
Mhm.
Young would have been a lawyer had he not been a great quarterback. And finally, um, one of the tallest men in the league, Dikembe Mutombo, would have probably worked at Walmart and getting stuff off the top shelf.
It would be Howie Bell. What's your top 5? I like your list, Rodney Perry. I like your list. What's your top 5? What's your top 5?
Man, hey, thank you for having me, my brother Holder, man. I appreciate it, man. Listen, bro, I had to do a little research though, but I didn't do it like how Rodney did. I went off of my feelings. Yeah.
Okay.
And I felt, first of all, I'm gonna start with your man, top player in the NBA, LeBron James. Despite his hair, I think he would have I think he would have been a great barber. I think
Oh wow.
he looked like a barbershop owner in Atlanta that stay open 24 hours. And so he went to remind me of one of them dudes, real cool dude, you know what I'm saying? Got the tattoos and all that. Just looked
Yeah.
like he could shape the hell out your hairline. Just about LeBron James, man. Even though he don't have
Hilarious.
one, I just think that he was okay. It is not no particular order. Draymond Green. You know,
Uh-huh.
that's man right there. That he looked like he sell weed. And so I would say,
Wait a minute.
man,
Why is it the black? Is it the black lips? What is it?
yeah, it's the whole look. You know, I didn't want to say that, but thank you, Rodney Perry. He got the whole, and one thing's for sure, he'll fight you. That's for sure.
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
he can always get his bread and all that. So he just looked like a dope boy, and so I'm gonna put that there. Let me see who else I got there. Oh, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, it's kind of obvious that he sounds like a cartoon character. And I think that he would do just fine doing voiceover work. I think he'd be great for Disney or anybody else. I know they Kermit the Frog already, and there's only big things. That was kind of an obvious pick. You know, Patrick Mahomes doing voiceover work for anybody, for any
he
you know,
the new Shrek.
anybody. He seemed like he fit the bill. Serena Williams. Yeah, I can see her working in Magic City.
Oh wow.
I can see her working. She got the bob. She got the got the fake hair sometimes.
Get the scraper.
You know,
Scrape the grill.
Okay.
I mean, I can see Serena being a really
It's
good,
in there somewhere. It's probably under the oven.
yeah, if you will. Okay, last but not least, it's not an athlete, but a coach. The coach for the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel. He looks like whole Elon Musk-ish look going on, like, almost like he should be running Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him really as every time I see him, I look at him like a boss or some kind of, Silicon Valley type dude like that. So that's my top or 5 or whatever, if you want to say, of the people who I think should be doing something else. If they were doing something else, that's what they would be doing.
Yeah, I like your list, bro. Yeah, I like your list. Jason, filmmaker Jason, bro, give me your 5, bro, of who would be your top 5 players in sports who would be doing another job and what the jobs would be.
All right, here we go. For me, at number 5 is ladies first. I'm going with Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I think Caitlin Clark will still be playing basketball professionally, but just in a different way. She'd be the female version of Woody Harrelson from White Men Can't Jump. And she'd be going to hoods all across America, killing everything out there, playing for big money because they don't think she can play. So she'd be hustling.
Yeah, she'd be hustling people. Yeah.
She'd be hustling. Number 4 is not a player, but a coach, Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bill Belichick would have been a high school PE teacher.
Wow.
Wearing those Sweetwater polyester short pants with the high socks up to his knees, and he was giving all the pretty girls the best grades in the class. Believe me on this. He might have been arrested at some point.
Yeah.
So the other one for me is the Bosa brothers. They would be running their own branch of the Proud Boys in South Florida.
I think they would have been mafia kingpin.
Yeah, but they love their orange dude. But Rodney, they would be recruiting from all the pizza joints and mafia hangouts.
I don't see the other one. I can just use
and
that.
white Cubans
Mm-hmm.
in South Florida. This at the number 2 spot for me, Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell would for sure be a lighting stand-in for all of the Alien and Predator movies.
Wow.
Right?
That's terrible.
And at the number 1 spot, I got A-Rod. A-Rod is smooth, man. He's a smooth cat. He's a stone cold businessman. And you put those 2 things together, I think A-Rod would have been a pimp or a human trafficker.
Okay, I like your
That's
list.
what I think he would have done.
I like your list. Kev Lane, give me your list. You ready for your 5? Give your 5.
A couple of brothers were stealing my thunder a little bit, but I'm gonna go with these. At the 5 spot, I picked Ryan Leaf to be a grief counselor.
He probably is a grief counselor right now, though. He ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, I think he is, but I think that he would have served well as a good grief counselor, because that dude has a lot of issues inside.
He was definitely whining a lot.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
My man, big old Shaq, Yeah, and I like that about working at Target, but I have him as a bouncer.
Mhm.
Easy, just that's an easy gimme. I got in the third spot Mano Ginobili. I think he would have made a good exterminator.
He do got that look, bro.
He do. He do look like a exterminator. Yeah, good. Yeah.
In the number 2 spot, I got Tom Brady. He should just been a model, like a model for a GQ or something like that.
You think he's handsome? You think he's a handsome guy?
And in the number 1 spot, no, but he just can't.
It's
he
okay
carries
if you think
himself
he's a
like
handsome
he
guy.
is
It's okay.
all clean and cut. I don't look at him like that, but I'm just
Don't listen
saying.
to Roddy. Keep going, Kev. Keep going, Kev. Keep going, Kev.
And in my number 1 spot, Dennis Rodman as a PIM pimp.
Okay. All right. So I'm giving you my list. Some of y'all stole some of mine. Some of y'all stole some of mine. Some of y'all, but I have them different. I have them as different, different things. My number 5 spot, I got Dennis Rodman. But Dennis Rodman for me would be doing RuPaul's Drag Race. He'd be the host instead of RuPaul. He got that job.
Wow.
He would have got in there. He would have been like, "Yeah, that's my job," and he would have won that. He'd have won that. He would have done that. Number 4 for me is Gilbert Arenas. Except Gilbert Arenas would be in jail right now for gangbanging because he don't know how to hold his temper when he play cards. So
Gangbanging?
Gangbanging. Yeah. He'd have been in
Oh, you mean like actually member of a gang?
Member of a gang, gang banging, because he joined the gang.
That word has multiple meanings. You know that,
The
right?
loopless gang banging, right?
Yeah. Not that one that you're thinking about, Rodney Perry. Have to, gang versus gang. That gang, man. Number 3 for me is Larry Bird. Larry Bird would have been the tallest car mechanic coming out of French Lick, Indiana. Because he was going down that road of being a mechanic anyway. So for me, he'd have been a car mechanic. I don't care what
And he smoked cigarettes too.
Yeah, he smoked cigarettes. And he got that long car mechanic face. Tell me if he wasn't 5'4", don't he look like a normal car mechanic for you when you come in? Like, hey, how can I help you? He looked like a car mechanic, especially up in Boston. He looked like almost every car mechanic in South Boston, if you ask me. That's why I think everybody loves him. Number 2 for me is Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal looked like he'd be the tallest, jester at the clown, at the circus. You know how they got the circus with the guy doing all that thing? To me, that's what Shaq would be doing, I think. I think he likes doing it. And number 1 for me is Tom Brady. Tom Brady would be the best car insurance salesman coming out of Southern California because obviously he know how to sell insurance and he don't do nothing but sell insurance and drink beer. That's my 5. That's my 5. That's my 5. Now, right now, I think Jay got the best 5. I don't care what nobody says. I think Jay got the best 5. I think he got the best 5. So
my vote for Howie Bell.
Yeah, Howie Bell got a good 5 too. Jay got the best. Howie Bell's 1 and 1A. Howie Bell's right there. He right there. But so now we get ready to do the next one, the next group. Oh, and Mr. I don't do my homework. You get ready to get this one. Rodney Perry, you want to go first? I get to you.
Let's go, man. Come on, ain't nobody scared.
All right. Top 3 craziest interviews ever in sports that you ever seen. Top 3. Give me a top 3 crazy interviews in sports.
I only got 2. I scoured the internet, and my number 1 is Allen Iverson. Practice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That was a great one for me. And this ain't really crazy, but I don't know if y'all remember this. D Rose had said he was about to hit 50, right? And then at the end of the game, when they interviewed him, he started crying, and everybody started crying. All the players, the coaches, everybody started crying. It was a really emotional moment. So D Rose dropped 50, man. It was a super emotional moment in sports, man. Shouts out to D Rose and that great moment, man. His hard work came to pass.
Yeah, I'd have to give you that one. That was a great moment. I like that. So you only got 2. Okay.
Well, of course, Mike Tyson, after he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear, he said, "I'll do it again."
Howie Bell, you got your top 3 craziest interviews in sports?
That's crazy.
You know, such a great transition because I got Mike Tyson right there. But wasn't that one? He had a like a beret on, like a black beret on.
Yes.
Interview. And I don't know if we can cuss on this platform.
I would actually pull off a bald head. I know that.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if we can swear and any of that. But I mean, if we can't, I'm trying to be as G-rated as possible.
Try to be PG. You know, you can if you want to, but if you can be PJ, that'd be good. Go ahead.
The news reporters interviewed him. He's like, "So what do you think? You know, why you trying to do this?" And he was like, "Hey man, you know, I don't give a beep, know." And he was like, "Hey man, you know, all right, well, basically, good luck, make a long story."
Went out.
We lost Howie.
We lost Howie. Howie, we lost you.
Howie, you went out.
You're real classy, Howie.
Man.
Real classy.
And he's still going.
Dial up.
I mean, he can't hear us.
He hit that dial up internet.
Oh,
Howie,
man.
Howie, we can't hear you.
And he was interviewed.
We can't.
You can't hear me?
No, we can't hear you.
Yeah, you back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Now we can.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all right. I don't know what happened. So where did I leave off at? What's the last thing you heard?
You were about to tell us.
Yeah, you didn't tell us. We didn't hear nothing. Everything you about to tell you. Look. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, the whole list. You didn't hear the whole list.
Yeah,
We heard Mike Tyson. That was
Mike Tyson, Black Beret.
Oh, okay. All right. And then so with the Black Beret, he after that, he cussed him out and all that, and basically told him to F off at the end of the interview. So the second one is Mike Tyson. I was about to say when he did an interview in Toronto with a newscaster, and the guy was interviewing him. He was like, "Yeah, I met the mayor," and he had another promoter next to him or whatever. And the promoter was talking about Sugar Ray Leonard and all that stuff. And Mike Tyson was like, "Yeah, we had a great time." And the interviewer was like, "Yeah, so we know you're a convicted rapist." And Mike Tyson looked at him. And
I remember that.
I've never seen it pause like that. And he said, "You know what? You're a piece of shit."
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the broadcaster's name, but
Yeah, I remember that interview. I forgot about
It was a black guy who was doing the interview.
It was a black guy. He was a black guy doing the interview.
He's like a morning TV guy.
Yeah, they were like on the couch. It was like a morning show. And he was like, "Mike, it's live on TV." He was like, "I don't give a damn," or whatever he said.
Yeah.
And man, at the end of the interview, he told him to F off. And it was, man, when I tell you, he had the best. But my last one would be Dennis Green, bro. I would never forget this. And I think I saw this live. I've been watching NFL that long. He was coaching the Cardinals. And in the interview, they lost the game to the Bears by like a point. And when I tell you, I don't know if y'all remember Dennis Green, the big heavy.
absolutely. They are who they thought we were.
Man, absolutely. They were who we thought they were.
Yeah.
And we let him off the hook.
He said, and we let him off the hook.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you want to crown him, go ahead and crown him. I don't They were who we thought they were.
He was upset. Yeah.
Yeah, he was real upset.
He knocked the microphone over and everything. That had to be one of the best. It's so many, but those are some top three best.
I like your list. I'm like, Rodney Perry got a good list. You got a good list. Okay, Jason, it's your turn. Who's your list? Give me your top 3.
It was a lot of them, I avoided some because I figured, the guys, would come up with them. So I came up with some, that really stood out to me. One that made me chuckle to myself because it was a moment of truth. It was when Florida State was getting ready to play Virginia Tech back in 1999. And their kicker at the time, Sebastian Janikowski, who's from Poland, had gotten arrested, for bar fighting. Right? And they were interviewing Bobby Bowden and asking whether or not he was going to suspend him because he was out drinking past curfew and all this other stuff. And Bobby Bowden said, well, you see, I got international rules and I got domestic rules. So suffice it to say, Seabass, played in the national championship game, right?
Yeah.
So this goes to my grandfather saying that a broken clock is right twice a day. because this dude is first class POS in Mike Gundy, the head coach of Oklahoma State. And that's when he was doing a press conference, and reporters, were attacking these college kids about how they played, like really getting personal. And he was like, he was going off and saying, talk about me, I'm a man, I'm 40.
Yeah,
And he storms off the stage, whatever. So that stood out.
I remember that.
But number one for me was the 2018 NBA Finals. J.R. Smith dribbled out the clock, thinking that they were up when the game was tied. They go to overtime against the Warriors, and they lose.
Yep.
Bron does the press conference afterwards. And the last question, this dude was asking him to explain to him JR's state of mind. And Bron was like, how can I tell you what that man was thinking? And the dude kept asking the same question 5 different ways. And Bron just stood up, put his sunglasses on, wearing his, he was wearing that Dutch boy suit.
Mm-hmm.
The Dutch boy, paint dude, with the short pants suit.
Yeah.
And he grabbed his man purse Birkin. And he walked out just like Devo Samuel. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, you my dude, but that was one of the moistest looking things I've ever seen in my life, bro. That stood out.
Cam, give me your.
You always find a way to besmirch the name of the great LeBron James.
I love him, though. I love him, Rob.
Always. Cam, give me your top 3.
Top 3. Someone took one of mine. The AI thing. Practice. AI is one of my favorite players ever. It's not my favorite. So when he said that about practice, but we talking about practice. We're not talking about a game. We're talking about that was big for me.
Great moment.
There was another one with Shaq. Shaq was he had just come off the court, and this reporter had come to him and said that what's going on? What the refs were kind of crazy out there, and Shaq basically he cursed on air. He said something to the effect of, "Yeah, it wonders why David Stern wondered why the NBA is losing money, and that's why people pay good money to see these athletes play, and these MFs just take over the effing game." And the guy said, "Shaq, we're live on TV," and he's like, "I don't give a shit." That was funny for me. And then the one with Bobby Bonilla, a long time ago, when Bobby Bonilla was in the locker room and the dude was up in his face with that microphone. He was like, "Listen, take that microphone and shove it up your bleep." And the guy was like, "What are you threatening me?" He was like, "Well, what you want to do? Make your move. Make your move." And the guy said, "You threatening me?" He said, No. Take it as you see it. Just like the brothers say in the hood, "I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling." That was hilarious to me. So those are my 3.
All right. Nobody said my 3, which I'm pretty happy about. Nobody said my 3. Number 3 for me was Floyd Mayweather is in the ring getting interviewed by Larry Merchant. Floyd Mayweather was dancing around everything else, and Larry Merchant said something to him. He didn't like it, and next thing you know, they going back and forth live on pay-per-view in front of about 50 million people. And then Larry Merchant said, "If I was younger than you, I would kick your tail right now." And they're going back and forth. That's number 3 for me. I thought that was hysterical. It shocked me. That was number 3. I love that. That's number 2 for me.
White man delusion.
Yeah, of course it is.
Oh yeah, he got his ass kicked.
Yeah, of course it was. Number 2 for me, Terrell Owens, after the Cowboys lost in 2008, he said, "That's my quarterback, yo. That's my QB. That's my QB." And he just going on and off because they had just lost the Dallas Cowboys. Had just lost.
Romo was so sorry he had T.O. crying.
Yeah, he was so scared. That was number 2 for me. But number 1 for me, and I think this is the all-time best interview ever of all time, was Jim Rome, who was the quarterback for the LA Rams at the time, with Jim Everett.
Jim Everett
was a QB. Jim Rome was the guy interviewing him, and Jim Rome kept calling him Chris Everett, And he
Right.
said, well, I bet you won't call me Chris Everett again. And now, mind you, they're live. Yeah, I bet you won't call me. He said, yes. He said, well, what you gonna do about it, Chris? And he jumped over and they fighting in the sports station.
That was
that
a
to
good
me,
one.
that to me is, and it's a classic. I mean, and that was
Classic.
way back in 1994 before Jim Rome blew up. But if you ask me, that helped make Jim Rome popular. I think he
I
did
think that was
right.
definitely his moment. That was definitely his moment.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
That's
that
what
helped
blew him
blow
up.
him up to be the man who he ended up. Jim Rome ended up blowing him. He got the Jim Rome show. He got Rome on this. Now he's on Sirius XM. He got all kinds of shows off that. I think that helped blow him up. So
Well, he faded now. He faded now, but he was definitely the
Yeah.
guy back
That was a
then.
good one.
yeah. But I think that
That was a
Jim
good
Rome
one.
thing was definitely one of the best interviews I've ever seen all time. All right, Rodney Perry, you up? And this time
He's still
you
around
up,
though, Rodney.
huh?
Jim Rome is still around. You know, he calls
Yeah, he ain't
himself
hot like he was though. He was crazy hot
No,
for
no.
a minute.
No. He calls himself Colin Coward now.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what he does.
Wow.
All right, so Rodney Perry, you up now. So this is the part that we were talking about yesterday after the show, after you got out real fast. We were talking about who are the top 5 coldest white players in the game. Who ever played in the game, NBA, all time. Who are the top 5 coldest? And Rodney Perry, you up. Give us your top 5 that you can remember.
I know we're gonna all say the same guys, but I got an NBA and an NFL list.
We're not gonna say all the same. We ain't gonna say the same. But go ahead.
I'm top of my list, Jerry West. Next one on my list,
The logo.
the logo himself, the great Bob Cousy.
Mm-hmm.
Steve
All the way
Nash.
around.
They say Steve Nash was an incredible player. Steve Nash. I saw Steve Nash. He was called John Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
John Stockton, and of course, the great Larry Bird, Laker legend.
Okay. I like your list.
Now, football, McCaffrey, Julian Edelman, Steve Sargent, I'm sorry, Jordy Nelson, and Wes Welker.
Well, we didn't throw football in there, but thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
Hey, there's a
Hold
lot
on.
of white people.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Time out. Jerry West was the logo, not
Right.
Bob Cousy.
Right.
I thought Bob Cousy was the logo.
No,
Jerry
Jerry West.
West.
Jerry West.
Jerry West logo. Okay. My man Howie Bell is in the building. Howie Bell, I know you got your top 5 coldest players who ever played in the NBA. Give them to me, bro. Give them to me.
Top 5. I don't know what order to put them in. You know, I didn't know. It's a lot of really good white basketball players, man, that come through the NBA. But I gotta say, of course, I'm gonna get out the way. Everybody says Larry Bird.
Rihanna said she's gonna come on season.
He was incredible. Probably one of the best. I won't say number one. That's why I don't have an order. It's hard to put them in order.
Yeah, it is.
Is the skin on those?
And you got Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of mine. You know what I'm saying? So and he's incredible. You got Nico Jokic, the Joker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so at Kevin McHale too. That's crazy. A lot of the white boys come out of Boston. That's incredible. No is there. Of course, Manu Ginobili. Somebody mentioned Ginobili earlier in another subject matter, but Ginobili was incredible. I don't think people forget how good
He ain't white though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's Italian.
Well, that's none of them are white because most of them are all from overseas. So are they? Are they not white Americans?
See, right now, everybody got different top 5 white. That's what I'm saying. Like this is interesting because who your top 5 is not my top 5. Jason,
Right.
Jay, who's your top 5? Because we might get picked some of the same players, but we got different
I
looks.
think it's 4. I don't think that was 5. But
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Hold on, Howard. Hold on, Jay. Go ahead, Howard. Give me your last one.
and so one of mine is Steve Nash, and I think Steve Nash was an incredible guard. He was probably one of the best to play in the NBA. Of course, he was a white American, so I give him that. But
Canadian.
Is he a Canadian?
He from Canada. By way of South Africa.
He from the 50
White.
He from the 50th state.
He extra white, super white.
Yeah, he's white. He's white. All right, Jay, it's your turn. Give me your top 5 coldest players to ever play ball.
Well, listen, my list would be remiss if I didn't put the great Larry Bird on there. So let's just get that out the way. I ain't even got to go into why.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 for me, he's under he's underappreciated, man, you know, because he was stuck on some teams that weren't doing much. But Mike Miller was cold when Mike Miller was healthy.
No, he was.
Like he could shoot it, he could drive it, he could dunk it, he could do all of that. Mike Miller was incredible. Plus, he won two rings. Number 3 spot, you got to go Kevin McHale. He was hey, listen, man, Frankenstein was unguardable down there on that block, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unstoppable. Number 2 spot for me is Mark Price. Listen, Mark Price was so cold. Kevin Johnson had to get traded to touch the court.
Yep.
People forget Kevin Johnson was in Cleveland playing behind Mark Price.
Yeah.
And when he got traded to Phoenix, he took off.
Yeah.
And at the number 1 spot for me, Drazen Petrovic. He only played for about 4 years. He got killed in a car crash. But that dude was unguardable, and his jumper was wetter than panties at a bachelorette party. You hear me?
Oh God.
Let's go with it.
I like your list. I like your list. These guys are different picks. Kevin Lane will give me your list. Who's your top 5 coldest white players that ever played the game?
Can I cover this?
All right. There was one that I was thinking of. I couldn't think of his name. He was going to be up there. He used to play on Indiana back in the day with Pat Ewing and all them. I forget his name
Rick
right
Smits?
now, but
Rick Smits?
no. He was a small forward, probably a number 2, like a shooting guard.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Y'all know who I'm talking about.
The kid out of Providence?
He had a crew cut haircut. I can't even think of it. That's all right. Well, my list goes like this. Everybody's saying Larry Bird, yeah, because that was a bad boy. I used to hear about him all the time. I'm here in Boston, so you can't forget about that dude. Can't even not make a list without him on it. But aside from Larry, one of my favorite players, Jason Williams, passed.
White chocolate.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody that was as nasty with the ball on the string like him besides Kyrie. Pistol Pete Maravich, number 3 spot. And can't forget about the underhand free throw of Mr. Rick Barry. And then last is Jokic. That dude is somebody that we look at and say, how does he do that? He's so slow and big and seems unorthodox, but that boy can play.
He sure can. All right, my turn. And some of you guys pick some of mine, but that's to be expected. Number 5 for me is Pistol Pete Maravich. Played for the. I remember him when he played for the Celtics, but he also played for the Hawks and the Jazz. His last year was Larry Bird's first year, and I remember them playing together and I thought we were seeing something special at that time. I thought that was amazing. Number 4 for me is Tom Chambers. I don't know if y'all remember Tom Chambers. He played for the Clippers, Supersonics, Suns, Jazz, Hornets, Sixers, but for me, he was mostly stood out for me when he played for the Suns, because at that time, I was like, this boy is unstoppable. I love this game. Jason Williams. Yeah. Jason Williams, I love him. Everybody knows White Chocolate. Jason Williams did his thing. Number 3 for me. Detlef Schrempf comes in at number 2 for me. Detlef Schrempf was a beast, a monster. I loved him the way he played. And number 1, obvious, is Larry Bird. I got the Celtics hat on. I think y'all know I had to put Larry Bird in. I didn't put Kevin McHale in my top 5 because I think these other guys right here were better than him. And but Kevin McHale is definitely in top 10. So now that's the top 5 coldest.
Let me say one thing. I do want to have one honorable mention.
Okay.
And that's the great Mr. Bill Laimbeer, bad boy Piston. Bill Laimbeer.
Of course you
Please stop with the Detroitness.
Boys.
He's also the dirtiest player of all time.
Man,
he wasn't good.
We're talking about awesomeness.
He wasn't no athlete, man.
He wasn't an athlete. He was a bum. But he
was awesome at being a bully.
He was a bruiser.
Take all those points.
He was the whole identity of those Pistons, man. He was the guy.
Y'all sitting at home? Can y'all tell Howie Bell's from Detroit? Can you tell? Can you tell? Howie let his Detroitness shine here through. Rodney Perry, we did the 5 top 5 coldest. Now give us the top 5 African American or black players who were complete and utter bums who played in the NBA. You're sitting there like, this dude's in the NBA? Like, for real? For real?
Okay, it's your boy Rodney Perry. First of all, I'm against regular people calling NBA players bums. Totally against it. Because if you play in the league, you're a gold. You're cold.
Mm-hmm.
But I got one pick, one guy only. He was known as a super athlete. He nobody's gonna have him. Vince Carter. Why? Because Vince Carter lost more games than anybody else. He lost 756 games, and he was a big old loser. Vince Carter lost 756 games in his NBA career, and he is my bum of all time just because he lost so many games.
That's a horrible pick, Rodney Perry. Horrible. I don't like that at all.
How was that? He lost 756 games.
Yeah, but he played for 22 years. That's what happens when you have
A lot of games.
Yeah,
There's a lot of losses.
On bad franchises.
And he was on bad teams. That's it.
Exactly.
team.
Exactly.
That's
He's
a
a
team.
loser.
That's a team effect.
That's a team thing. Ain't got nothing to do with Vince Carter.
He's
I'm-
very comfortable losing. Matter of fact, he might be losing a game of dominoes right now.
I'm sorry, Rodney Perry. I do not like that list. We do not approve that
That's
list.
his pick. That's his pick.
That's his pick.
That's
Yeah, that's
his
his pick.
pick.
That's his pick. That's his pick. That's his pick. All right, Howie Bell, give us your top 5 worst black players in the NBA that you think you sitting there like, how this dude make it? How this dude get it? Go ahead.
And now I'm gonna be honest. I did have to do some research on it. I had to
Yeah,
go.
you got to do research. Yeah, you got to.
Let me go to YouTube. Let me see what's going on. Let me look at a few videos and see. And I was so surprised that there was this many terrible players. NBA, I was like dumbfounded. I mean, I literally spent a couple hours like watching how terrible players have been. So I got a list. So this is the funniest one to me. One of the funniest. Oliver Miller. Y'all remember him?
Yeah.
He just died.
I remember.
He's on my list. Yeah.
Go do research to like, you know what I'm saying? Remember? Man, I didn't know this dude got up to 375 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing. He was falling on the ground. He was doing all kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
boy stuff. Listen, man, he was a first round NBA pick, bro. That was
He was
amazing
a
to me.
beast in college.
Huh?
Because he was a beast in college, yo. He was.
Yeah.
The
He
beast.
was.
And they said in the couple documentaries I was looking at said that he literally ate his way out of the NBA.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
That he just couldn't stop eating. And so the funny part about it is though, he left and went to the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
You know, the Harlem Globetrotters, for all practical purposes, like a theater team.
Mm-hmm.
He got cut from the Harlem Globetrotters. How do you get cut from the Globetrotters? I thought that was so hysterical to me.
They could have let him play for the Generals. He'd have been better.
I mean, like literally. I mean, he just said, "Just get out of here." All right. So, all right. Here's another guy. This guy's name was Michael Ruffin. Y'all remember him?
No.
Any relation to David Ruffin?
No, I don't.
Michael Ruffin.
I don't know.
I remember that. Well, I saw him and I remembered him.
Yeah. He was a first round draft pick, I believe. He averaged 2.6 points per game, but over the average of 20 minutes per game. So he was playing basically 20 minutes a game, getting basically 1 bucket per game. He played for the Bulls, he played for the Thunder, he played for the Wizards. He had more career fouls than career points.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah. And he was famous for, as anybody knows, because I remember this right here. He was famous for throwing the ball in the air when he thought the time ran out on the clock. And so he threw the ball up in the air and the time won, like he thought they won. And the other team, I think they was playing the Bulls, and the other team got the ball and he shot the 3 and they won the game.
I remember that play.
Most famous thing that he did. All right. Okay, so he's the number 30 guy, Anthony Bennett. Y'all remember Anthony Bennett?
Mm-mm.
He was I didn't remember him, but he's the number 1 pick, and he was the number 1 pick by the Cleveland Cavaliers,
Mm-hmm.
by the Cavs. And listen, man, they said that he was supposed to be known for his defense, like coming in, like he was gonna be this great defensive player. He had 0 blocks, 0 steals, and 0 anything. They say he didn't do anything.
Statistically speaking, he was probably the worst. Yeah.
Where he played 1 season for the Cavs, but he played for a few other teams. He played for 4 seasons, but he only played that 1 season for the Cavs. But every team they say he got on, they never made the playoffs. Each team, he was like a jinx for every team. Anthony Bennett. All right, he's got Jameson Curry. That's right, his last Curry. Ain't that crazy?
On Curry.
Huh?
On Curry.
Yeah.
His
Who?
last name on Curry.
Jameson Curry.
James on Curry.
Jameson Curry. Yeah, you remember Jameson Curry, huh?
I do.
It's Jamaican. Jameson Curry. He played literally 3 seconds in his whole entire NBA career.
Wow.
Literally, he got in the game. He played for the Clippers. He had 0 everything, 0 assists, 0 rebounds, any of that. He got in the game for 1 play, basically. And the highlight of his play was he was trying to make a shot and he got blocked.
Wow.
He literally,
That's your 5? That's
he
your 5,
literally
Howard?
has no stats.
That's
Yeah.
No
I think that's
stats.
my 5 right there. Oh no, I got one more. Oh yeah, this guy. He was like an African guy. His name was Hashim Thabit.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
UConn.
You remember? Yeah, I remember him,
Yeah.
right? You got the beat. Yeah. He was a number 2 pick overall in like 2009, and they picked him over. I think the Grizzlies or something picked him over Harden and Curry or something like that, and averaged 3 points a game.
Yeah, you got some Howard. Statistically speaking, you did your homework, Howie. That's a good list. That's a good list.
Thank you.
He's like, yeah, statistically, I'm gonna kill this list. I will make sure we pick the best nobodies who did nothing.
And listen, he was 7 feet 3 inches.
Yeah, he was so. All right, filmmaker Jason Hayes in the building. Filmmaker Jason Hayes, tell us your 5 worst.
Okay.
NBA players.
So the previous segment, we did, I gotta give credit, to my boy Big Game James Coleman. He has this podcast called Big Games BS. He coined this phrase CAP, C-A-P, for cold ass pilgrim. So that was the white portion of it. The cold ass pilgrim segment is over. So now we move into what I call the BWOT segment, BWOT, blacks who out here trash. Okay. So in the 5th spot, he wasn't trash, but his shot was so ugly, he deserves to be on the list. Bill Cartwright. Whoa, the way he shot was trash.
Yeah, but he was a
You
pretty
like
good
his free
player.
throws?
He had a
You like
great
his
career.
free throws?
Yeah, but he was a pretty good player though. But keep going.
And he looked slow on top of that. You know what I'm saying? So no, not slow physically, slow, slow. Number 4, not so much because he was a terrible player, but because it's more about what he's doing right now in social media. Rashad McCants. He was a lottery pick, man. He's like a career 10-point scorer, but if you watch him on Gil's Arena, woo, boy. That boy, when God gave out stupid, he gave with both hands with this dude for sure.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? He takes stupid to another level.
Yeah.
I can't leave off Anthony Bennett. Since we already went into that, he has to be on the list. He averaged a triple single his whole career.
Triple single for real.
He did.
Now, this could have been a bunch of people, but instead, I had one person in mind, but when I did my research, I was like, bro, this has to be one thing. The 1986 NBA draft class, where 4 out of the top 7 either died or lost their careers to cocaine.
Wow.
You're talking about Roy Tarpley, Chris Washburn, Len Bias, And what's the other dude name? I'm forgetting his name right now. Bedford. William Bedford.
Lynn Bias would have been a great player though.
Man, yeah, but that Booger Sugar got him though, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it did.
And at the number one spot, this is for my wife, bro. Like we saw this dude in Martha's Vineyard, man. She tried to get me to swerve, to run him over on his bicycle. I mean, that's how much they hate that dude here. I'm for real, bro. The number one spot, Charles Smith.
Oh, wow.
Who everybody in New York City swears is the lone reason why the last banner hanging in Madison Square Garden is 1973. Because at 6'10", this dude could not make a layup time and time and time and time again. He is a quintessential tall for nothing.
She said, "Spring over and hit him."
She wanted to hit him, son. I'm telling you, she wanted to run him over, bro.
I believe it. I believe it. Kev, give me your list. Give me your list. We're pushing for time. Give me your list.
Wow. Okay, I'll be quick. I'm gonna go through. There's a couple of that how he got for me. That we were on the same page, bro. But I'm gonna go with Michael Oliver Candy, the Candy Man. We talked about him the other day, but he was trash. He was terrible. I also have Hashim Thabit. Everybody was looking at him like he was going to be Mutombo or Patrick Ewing, and he was straight gutter garbage. Anthony Bennett. Others have him too. Can't knock it. He was just terrible. I also had Oliver Miller on my list. Damn, Howie. And the other dude that you mentioned, that dude James On Curry, who literally has no stats in the league.
One block.
That's
He was
crazy.
blocked.
He got one FGA.
That's it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that ain't even his stat.
Terrible.
That's your list? That's 5?
That's my list. That was it.
Okay.
I
My
did
turn.
5, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't counting. Okay. Here's my 5. Number 5 for me, Nervous Purvis Ellison. Y'all remember that dude?
You got to be on the list. Yep.
Yeah. Has to be on the list.
Gotta
Top 5 worst players, if you ask me. Nervous Purvis, he did 4 teams? Yeah, he came out of Louisville. When he came out of Louisville, I thought he was going to do work. This dude was a bum. I don't care what nobody says.
He came to the Celtics
like
for
my
a hot
wife
second,
said.
too.
My wife said, "Tall for nothing."
Tall for nothing, man.
Tall for nothing. Yeah, tall for nothing. Yeah, nervous person. And I think we all agree on Greg Oden. That was the easy one. Greg Oden came in. Greg Oden, his stats is just stats to be stats. Like he just walked up and down the court when he played, and he barely played. And Greg Oden was terrible, if you ask me. Number 3 for me is Robert Truck Taylor. Like Robert Truck Taylor. A lot of people
Tractor
forget. Everybody thought Truck Taylor was going to do some work, but woo, this dude, I don't care what nobody. When he came out of college, I think, matter of fact, I think me and you, Kev, talked about him a lot. Like this dude getting ready to do some work. I think we talked about him. But he didn't. Number 2 for me, you all said a couple of times, Michael Olakandi. Like, no, sorry. I think that's one of the most disappointment things. But number 1 for me is the most disappointing player to ever play in the league, who played for a couple of years and on a couple of teams and played for the Lakers. It's Kwame Brown. I don't like the way Kwame Brown played. I don't like his style of play. I don't even think he should be in the league. I think he came out too early. I think he should have played in college and got some more homework assignments done. And I think he should have did his thing. But if you ask me, that dude was one of the worst big men who had the most highest expectations and aspirations to ever play the game, if you ask me. So, yeah, I didn't like that list. I didn't like him at all. All right, so now we're gonna pull up. Let me get my next list up, and let me get my where you at, because I thought we were gonna run out of time, but since we didn't run out of time the way I thought we were gonna run out of time, I'm gonna pull up Rodney Perry, and I'm gonna pull something and see. All right, we did most disrespected, we did most violent dunkers, most shocking. If I was to say the best debut in sports that shocked you all? You all think you can come up with some names off the top of your dome? Rod, do you think you can do that? Like best debut in sports? Like, because I have one on top of my head that I can go with right now. Best debut in sports. Rodney Perry, you up. You got one?
Best debut.
Mm-hmm. Best person who came in on the field in any sport, who came in and you were like, okay, this dude's new, and he just shocked the world because he was so good. Best debut in sports.
Dr. J. Dr. J came into the league, and everything they thought he was going to be, he was that and then some. Dr. J, to me, it still ranks as one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one. Howie Bell, you got it.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry, Rodney. You were saying something?
No, good.
Howie Bell, you got one best debut sport you like?
I'm gonna say in recent times it's gotta be in the NFL. With the man from the Washington Commanders, the quarterback, Daniels. Is that his name?
Yeah, Jay Daniels. Yeah.
Yeah, he came in, and of course I'm from Detroit, and it was a big shock not only to Detroiters but to the world. He came in and popped the shit out of Detroit, the Detroit Lions in the playoffs, and I think that him coming in and doing that was a big shock, and I think that he's going to be really good for years to come.
I'm going to have to get you to get off of Detroit for a little bit, Howie. We're going to have to talk about this Detroit thing.
Like, impossible.
I got one more, Frank.
Go ahead.
The great Will Chamberlain. In his debut game, he scored 43 points, 28 rebounds. 28 rebounds.
Yeah.
For the Philadelphia Warriors versus the Knicks, 1959. Wilt Chamberlain, the great Will Chamberlain.
Okay. Jay, first name that pops in your head, best debut in sports.
LeBron Ramon James Sr. Because, like people always say, this person is this person is that. And they would get to whatever sport and they were never what they said they were. And this kid came in the league and you knew instantly that he was the real deal, that that he was gonna be able to hold his own there. He was so good when he first started. Charles Barkley made the joke saying that he was from the Dominican Republic. That he said that he wasn't really 18. He had one of the Dominican Republic birth certificates. That's how good that dude was.
Oh, that's terrible. Terrible. Kev Lane, you got a best debut in sports?
Yeah, when you said that, and the first one that popped into my mind was the debut of Tom Brady when he came in for that, my boy hurt Drew Bledsoe, and we was like, oh man.
He didn't play for a couple of seasons though, did he?
No, but his debut when he first showed up because Drew got hurt, and then they threw Tommy in there, and Tommy started lighting up. He was like, oh, okay, no, we stay with him, and they were gonna talk about bringing Drew back in. And I was like, no. Tom,
yeah, I didn't pick Tom Brady because they played the Jets that game and they lost that game. That's the only reason why I didn't pick Tom Brady. The name in my head, but he did do really well. He did do well. Okay, I'm next. The one that stand out to me is got to be Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy came in and he did work. I think he did so much work. Everybody's still sitting there shocked at how good this brother did. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all sitting at home, we want you to subscribe to this channel. This show is called Box Seats. I want to thank all you all for giving in your list, doing your homework. I appreciate all of that. So tomorrow we got some more crazy lists. The brothers and I have been talking about it. I got a couple of good ones, man. I got a couple of good ones tomorrow for tomorrow's show, and
I need Howie Bell to say one. Howie Bell got to say Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, we'll get to that one day.
How would you say Eminem one of these days?
Isaiah Thomas, first game, 31 points, 11 assists. His debut game.
That was his debut game. I just said in recent times, y'all didn't hear me. In recent times is what I said. I think Jaden Daniels did a surprising job. I think he did actually surprise the world. I mean, that was
absolutely.
And you threw it on me last minute, so I got to think quick too.
Of course, on your feet. So maybe tomorrow we'll do a list like maybe My wife wanted me to say, the top 5 best hair. I was like, okay,
I'm not gonna be a part of that, Miss. I'm not gonna be a part of that, Miss Holder.
I said the same thing. I said that I don't know who got the best hair, but I will do this list that my man Jay came up. He's like the 5 dirtiest players. Like come up with some of the dirtiest players in any.
Bill
sport.
Laimbeer, he the dirtiest player of all time.
Bill Laimbeer is definitely.
That's where Bill Laimbeer belongs, Howie.
On that list. You see how we did that, Howie? On that list.
I want to extend, but I got about 7 to. Well, if I do a top 10, I got about 9 other players that I can put on the list with Bill Laimbeer.
All Detroiters.
Oh, yeah.
No, I put about 2 more Detroiters and about 7 other players. You'd be surprised.
Kid Rock for sure.
Howie Bell, tell everybody out there how they can find you, bro.
And you can always find me, man, Instagram at Howie Bizzell, HOWIEBIZZELL. And hey, that's it. Really, Howie Bell, man. Google me, man. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Rodney Perry, tell everybody out there. And Comedy Crime is today, right? Or was that yesterday?
The podcast goes live on Tuesday. We got a new episode coming up with Bill Cosby today. Ed is also showcasing my buddy, the Business Bully, is going to be on the episode as well. But tomorrow I'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Charlie Goodnights, rocking out on a Wednesday night. One show Wednesday night at the Raleigh, North Carolina, Charlie Goodnights.
Thank you for that. Filmmaker Jason Hayes, tell everybody how they can follow you.
See you.
You follow me right here, JD Hayes, fan base.
I like that fan base plug in. Kev, tell everybody how they can follow you.
Follow me right here on the Humor Mill box seats, baby.
Thank you all for watching the show. It's called Box Seats. I want to thank everybody who's chiming into and commented. A quick shout out to obviously Wifey. Matt Treese gave us a couple of names up in here. Kathy Curry came. Thank you for listening and showing. Dugar's out there watching the show from the ship. Shout out to Dugar. So, thanks for doing that. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We got another list of shows tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. Take care.